just north of the Lower Galilee city of Yokneam. The terrorist murderer rammed his car into an Israeli soldier at a bus stop, then stabbed him, stole his weapon and opened fire on innocent civilians. An 85-year-old Israeli man was murdered in his car. Another victim remains in critical condition. The terrorists fired indiscriminately at passing vehicles, attempting to maximize the carnage. Thanks to the rapid and heroic response of Israeli border police officers, the terrorist was neutralized before he could take any more lives. This was a truly remarkable act of heroism by our police officer, acting swiftly and stopping the killing. I can tell you that Israel is on high alert during Ramadan as Hamas and Iran continue to incite and orchestrate terror against our people. This wave of bloodshed will not break us. Our security forces are deployed across the country to protect every citizen, irrespective. Israel will not tolerate terror. We will fight it and we will defeat it. Every attack on Israel proves why Israel must be stronger. Next to Gaza, I can confirm that Israel has eliminated Ismail Barhoum, Hamas's head of finances and institutions. Of course, he was successor to Issam al-Dalis, the former head of Hamas's government, who was killed just last week. Barhoum funded Hamas's terror operations, arming terrorists and orchestrating attacks on our people. He was struck while hiding in Nasser Hospital, once again exposing Hamas's use of human shields. The BBC reported that he was receiving treatment there. Israel is escalating military operations in Gaza. Why? To eliminate Hamas's leadership, dismantle terror infrastructure and secure the return of 50 hostages. 59 hostages remain in Gaza. Hamas has repeatedly rejected all negotiation efforts, including those by US Envoy Witkoff. Israel will continue to act with increasing military strength. Our ground forces are operating throughout the Strip to eliminate terrorists and terror infrastructure, to expand the security zone and create a partial buffer between the north and the south of the Strip. Decisively, Israel is destroying Hamas's capabilities and protecting our people. And lastly, on Syria, let me just say this, particularly in the south of Syria, Israel will not accept the presence of munitions that could pose a threat to our people or to IDF activity. Any attempts by the regime's forces and terrorist organizations and anyone else to establish themselves in the region will be thwarted. The events of the last 18 months have led to Israel adopting a different strategy of conflict and risk management. I can sum up our strategy quite clearly. It is proactive, it is preemptive, and it is preventative on all fronts and at all times. That's the end of our briefing here today. I will now take some of your questions. Please put them in the brief together with your news outlet. Okay, first question here I can see is from Joel Pollack at Breitbart News. Is it true that Egypt has proposed and the US has accepted a ceasefire deal that would involve the release of 5 hostages per week? If so, what is Israel's response to the proposal? Thank you for that question, Joel. We won't be providing a running commentary on the negotiations. We've told you before that this action in Gaza, which the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister, together with the Security Cabinet, have instructed our defence forces to take this strong action against Hamas terrorist organisation. The reason we're taking this action is firstly that Hamas rejected 2 concrete mediation proposals by Presidential Envoy Mr. Steve Witkoff, together with the other mediators, but also that Hamas has rejected all of the proposals. And secondly, we are well aware, Israel has knowledge that Hamas was preparing to carry out terror attacks against our people. They were using this ceasefire to build up their forces, to rearm and to re-attack. And as a result, with the approval of the government, Israel's armed forces launched this precise, preemptive strikes against Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad targets throughout the Gaza Strip. Now, as I mentioned today already, we have successfully hit senior Hamas military commanders, officials in their leadership, terror cells, launch posts, weapons, stockpiles, and military infrastructure. These strikes are ongoing, and ladies and gentlemen, we have learned the lessons of October 7th massacre. We will not allow Hamas or any other genocidal terror force to build up their forces on our borders. Hamas repeatedly vow to repeat October the 7th, and our duty is to stop them. Okay, next question, if I could see the other questions, please. Yep, okay. Okay, next question here is from David Clement from the News Forum. A couple of questions. Can you elaborate who the senior Hamas official killed in the hospital strike was? Yes, I've done that. It's Ismail Barhoum, and I've given you his dastardly resume as well. And secondly, your question, does the PMO has comment on the Egyptian ceasefire proposal? And I've also answered that question. And I've got a question here from Maria F. If you could tell us who your outlet is and your full name, Maria. Next question I can see here is from Jason Perry with NTD News. Your question is that Defense Minister Israel Katz told Gazans to return the hostages. Does Israel have information that Gazans who are not Hamas are holding hostages? And also, yeah, so that's your question. Thank you for that question, Jason. Look, our hostages have been held now for 18 months in Hamas captivity. We have not seen any examples of Gazans who have done anything, their humanitarian duty, to pass information to Israel about the whereabouts of our hostages. And our hostages have repeatedly told us, the ones that have been freed, they have told us that they did not receive any kindness whatsoever from the people that took them hostage and held them hostage, who starved them, who held them in chains, who treated them appallingly, who subjected them to appalling treatment, to torture, to sexual abuse. So unfortunately, we would be happy, it would in some sense restore our sense of humanity, that there were Gazans who were willing to give us information on the whereabouts of our hostages, despite us having repeatedly asked for that information. That has not been the case, I'm sorry to say. Okay, last question here from Maria. Maria Finishina, you're from RT, okay? We don't normally take questions from RT. So with that, thank you for joining us. We'll have the next briefing soon, and we'll let you know when that is. In the meantime, please do stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.